Welcome to the stream. Let's see who's here. Hey, Lynn, welcome. 안녕하세요. Let's see who else is here. Paulina Carolina, hello. And Joe Turner with another 안녕하세요. We'll get started right at the top of the hour. We have an intermediate level class for everyone today, but I'm going to do my best to simplify it so that even if you're a beginner, you're still going to get something out of today's lesson. Actually, you'll definitely get something out of today's lesson no matter what your level is. Let's see where everyone's from. I see some people are already messaging where they're from. I didn't even ask yet. I usually ask. Let's see. The first person who started it was Lisley or Liz. I don't know why it's spelled that way. Maybe, sorry. Hello from Qatar. Hello from Canada. Argentina, United States, Greece, Ghana, England, Serbia, Georgia. Are you from, oh wait, of course, you're from the US state, Georgia, not the other country place, Georgia. There are two Georgias, right? Yeah. Dallas, Seattle, San Francisco, yeah. Spain and Poland, US, Ingu, is that a was that a country? I'm sorry. I've never ever heard that before. Where is that? Someone named Fatausto said they're from a place called Ingushetia. I don't know how to say it. What is this country? Can someone else Google it for me? How have I never heard of this in my entire life? Okay, Philippines, New Zealand. Yes, Miguk Georgia. Yes, okay. Chile, Portugal, France, Canada, England, Morocco, Canada. I like how everyone's just keeps going, saying where they're from. This is nice. Keep it going. From Jamaica, live in the US. As a kid, literally, the only thing I knew about Jamaica was the movie Cool Runnings. Is this like, I just have to ask, is Cool Runnings, like everyone in Jamaica knows this movie? Because it was an amazing movie. I loved it as a kid. Let's see who else. A republic, apparently a republic, really? Ingush, okay. Never heard of it, but that sounds interesting. Australia, Georgia, Russia, Armenia, Netherlands, Germany. Okay, oh, it is. Okay. London, Germany, Sweden. We are Jamaica. We are the bobsled team. Something like that. I can't remember the song. I watched it when I was probably like 8 or 9. I don't know. Whenever it came out, like it was on TV and I saw it. Algeria, Saskatchewan. Okay. I almost read that as Sasquatch. I'd be like, that must be where the Sasquatch is from. But no, it's Saskatchewan, which is in Canada, right? I'm sorry. I'm a Korean teacher, okay? Not a geography teacher. Please excuse me if I make mistakes on where countries are. Dongdaemun. Are you in Dongdaemun? Nice. Brazil, Cornwall in the UK, someone's spamming Georgia, Phoenix, HTX, I'm not sure what that is, Venezuela. Nice. Okay, yes, it is. Ukraine, or I should say Ukraina. I think that's how I keep hearing it. Hello from the South, or should I say howdy? Well, you can say whatever you'd like. If I ever go to Texas, I'm warning you, I'm going to say howdy. It's going to happen. If you see some guy screaming howdy at people with a gigantic hat and holding like a 128-ounce steak in his hands, just like a raw steak, like swinging it around, that's me. I'm sorry, but I haven't been to Texas yet, but someday I will. I'm going to do this. Samantha Johnson, welcome. Would KitKat say howdy? I think KitKat would adapt to the situation. Yes, I think KitKat would be right alongside with me. Why screaming? That way they could hear me because it's so big. They're not going to hear me if I whisper. They're like miles away. If I'm not screaming, why am I even here? Let's see. Chicago. Brazil. Nice. You know what I love? Brazilian bread and Brazilian barbecue. It's good stuff. Let me know if you ever come to Georgia. I had a layover once in Georgia when I was coming back from Korea. I had a layover in Georgia for like 2 hours. It was a nice airport. I used the bathroom. I got some water. I waited in a really long line. And you have to take, I had to take like there was like it wasn't a subway, but it was kind of like a shuttle inside of the airport to get to another side of the airport. I remember that thinking, this is ridiculous. I'm so glad I don't have to use this airport. Anyone from there will know what I'm talking about. Is the Atlanta, Georgia airport, I guess. I hope I never have to do another layover there. I'd rather visit the city than be in the airport. The plane train, is that what it's called? The plane train? Let me know if you ever come to Inguj. Considering I can't pronounce it, there's a low chance I'm going to be explaining this to my travel agent. But sure. Will you ever move from Korea? Well, I am not in Korea right now. Hold on, just something fell over. I'm in Korea for about I'll say 4 months, at least 3 to 4 months every single year. So it's kind of like I live there. But most of the time I'm in the US. Right now I'm in the US. But I'll be going back to Korea next month. So that's one of the things I want to announce. I haven't done any announcements today. I've just been talking with you guys. But this Sunday and next Sunday are the last live classes for the summer because I'm going to be gone in Korea. And as you know, when I'm in Korea, I don't do these live classrooms. Instead, I might do regular live streams, maybe like once a month. I might even do a fan meetup while I'm over there. I'm thinking about it. Let me know if you're interested. But yes, so after this Sunday, there will be no more classes until August. Sometime in August, after I come back. I'll need some time to, adjust to the time difference and everything, unpack, set up everything again, start preparing. So maybe the middle or the end of August, I'll start up these live classes again. But yeah, after today, there's only one more class left until the end of the summer. Georgia says, come to Greece and eat souvlaki. I would love to go to Greece. I'm completely serious about that. The only reason I haven't gone over there is because I heard it's not a great place. It's not a safe place is what I heard. That area is not a very good area for tourism is what I've heard. But I would love to get over there. The food is amazing. I've been to actual Greek restaurants before and they're incredible. I totally love that kind of food. Like I am sold. I am subscribed to Greek Facts. So yeah, there are a bunch of places that I would love to go if I heard that they were better for tourists. And yeah, Egypt is another one. I would love to visit there someday. Bubblegum says, loved your collab with Natalia. I loved it too. It was fun. Yeah, we had a lot of fun that day. And surprisingly, my stomach was okay. I thought it would be destroyed, but it was okay. I think it was from that hand lotion that the owner had us eat before. Belladonna says, will you be there until October? Nope, I'll be there until, like I mentioned, when I come back in August and I start these lives again. I could feel the pain of the spiciness from the screen. So, Paulina, if it was not so hot temperature-wise, I could have eaten the whole thing. It just wasn't very good. And after finishing the challenge, and after I had paid $60 for our unfinished plates, because you have to pay if you lose, and I was, it was my video, we both looked at each other. We're like, if we just kept sitting here, another 20 minutes, because it had now cooled off by the time we finished. If we sat here another 20 minutes, we both agreed we could have finished it. It wasn't impossible to eat. It wasn't some amazing feat to eat it. It was just very hot. But then we both said, I don't want to. We're just like, it's just not good. The place normally has very good regular tonkatsu is what I've heard. That's what the reviews say. So I would go there again to just get regular tonkatsu and not do a challenge. But the spicy one simply didn't taste good. So I wouldn't need to try it again. Even if I could go there and try it again, knowing what I know now and how to defeat it, I wouldn't want to eat it. Even if it's free, I wouldn't want to. It just didn't taste very good. If I don't go to Greece, I'm eating sagnaki. I don't even know what that is. I'm just going to eat everything. If someone puts it in front of me, they're like, Billy, this is your prepaid cell phone while you're here. I'm just, delicious. Like everything is going in my mouth whenever I sit down at a table, if I ever go to Greece. That's kind of the same though with most countries. I feel like there's so much good food out there in every country. Every time I've had cuisine from any other country and I didn't know what it is, there's like the most incredible food that we just never are exposed to otherwise. Yeah. Come to Ghana and eat egg with hot pepper. That sounds great. I like eggs. I would do that. Avi, the author, says, love your collab with Korean Ara. Oh yeah, that's right. We did those, the videos. How much work is a collab video? It's a lot of work. We just get our schedules together and then plan everything out. But it's kind of what you think it would be. Just scheduling everyone together, writing out an outline, and then filming and hoping it goes well. Flaming Keflar cheese. Yeah, I don't know about pronunciation either. Flaming cheese. Okay. Why is it flaming? Billy tried to eat Filipino foods. I did. I ate Filipino food a lot, actually. I really like it. I've tried all of the common stuff. So I've had like the that like blood sausage kind of soup. I've had the duck egg. I've had all that stuff. I'm good with all of it. It's good. It's really good. Saganaki is a block of fried cheese. Okay, fried cheese sounds delicious. The only thing we got is doner kebab. Okay, Germany? No, don't play yourself like that. No, Germany, you're trying to pretend that Germany doesn't have good food. No, Germany has excellent food. Do I even need to say sauerkraut? Is that German? I know the word is. No, like all the pastries you've got, the sausages and the dishes you've got, like it's healthy, but it's also like good. I've had real German food. Actually, the one time I had real German food was in Korea. There used to be a German restaurant near the place I was staying at in Suwon. It was only open for a few years and it closed, but it was a German couple that owned it, and they made just traditional German food. It wasn't like fancy. It wasn't Korean style. It was just German food, and it was really good. But the Korean I went there with didn't care for it. That's probably why it didn't last too long. I thought it was great though. Currywurst. Yeah. Currywurst. That's awesome. You can also get that kind of in Korea. You can get curry with sausage in some Korean restaurants as well. I know it's not the same thing, but it's kind of a similar idea. Not the sauerkraut. Yeah. Seriously, I could just eat sauerkraut. Like, if you give me a bowl of sauerkraut, I'll just eat that. Like, that's my meal. Germany's best and healthiest food is from the many immigrants. That is also true. I've had a lot of food. I'm not really quite sure where it's from. Dinu guan. Yes. Yes, I've had the pork blood stew. Yes, I've had that before. It is excellent. I really liked that. Okay, how are we on time? Oh, I should get started with the lesson. We're just talking about food. Yeah, I've yet to find a place that does not have good tasting food, but I'm sure there are. I don't want to like regret saying this, but I have yet to hear of a culture or a country that does not have legitimately good food. And yeah, I used to watch like travel shows and like Anthony Bourdain and a bunch of those shows. So like I got to see a lot of the other food in the other countries, and it looks great. Like I would totally try all that stuff. Okay, they're not actually setting the cheese on fire, they just fry it. Well, that's a disappointment. I was hoping that they would cover it in like a flammable liquid, maybe like lighter fluid or something, and then it's just flaming, and they give you a fork and like watch you. Like, see if the tourist is going to do it. But I guess fried sounds okay too. Okay, let's get started with our lesson today. First, a few quick announcements before we start. As usual, you can get the outline for today's lesson on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, make sure to pick it up. You can also get the worksheet, which is up there right now, which has an additional, I think, 8 sentences for today's lesson. You always want the worksheets for these. Now, you don't have to get them, but I would recommend them because we never have enough time to cover all of the example sentences that I want. So I put the extra ones on the worksheet, and there are always at least like 8, 10, or 12 examples that you can practice that will be higher level than what we have time for in these lives. So definitely get the worksheet if you're a member of my Patreon page. Again, if you're not, it's only $1 to sign up. You don't have to like pay tons of money to me to get access to these. It's just $1. So yeah, and the worksheet will be up as soon as the live stream is over. All of them are also on the Patreon page. Let me post it here. There is a Google document. Hopefully it'll post the link soon. I told it to post the link, but it'll go up. And the Google document, there we go. It has every single link to all of the live streams I've ever done with the abridged versions, the worksheets, the outlines, topics that were covered, links to everything, the dates, the titles of them, all of that's there. So just check that out and you can find it there. Also, make sure to check out my Discord channel. It's completely free. Hold on, let me post a little thing to there. There we go. My Discord channel is completely free. Also, where's that? So the Discord channel, though, if you join and you see it's not very active, just join one of the individual channels. You'll see people are talking in the individual channels, not as much in the general chat I've found lately. But yeah, it's still quite active. Just make sure to post things in the questions channel, or you can post your goals in the accountability channel. Also, one more thing, I'll put up my merch here. It's my shameless promotion. You can get Go Billy Korean merch. There's KeyCat, there's me, all designed by mostly by myself. I know my wife actually designed a couple of them, so I can't say I did all of it. And yeah, again, I said this before, but this is today and next Sunday are the last live classes before the summer. And then they'll come back again in August. So you're not going to get any more live classes after this coming Sunday. Today and next Sunday are the last 2. I'll still do a live stream while I'm in Korea, and I might even do a fan meetup if there's enough interest. But there won't be any classes like this with a whiteboard while I'm over there. I won't be able to manage that with time difference, and I don't have the equipment for it while I'm over there. Okay, so that's all the announcements. Let me just check the chat real quick, and then we'll start with our lesson. The best in England is Indian food. Sorry, I've heard that as well. Indian food as well as French food. But, that's okay. That's okay. We have a lot of traditional English food in the U.S. from people who came over. So, I mean, your food, even if it's not over there, we're still eating it over here sometimes. We got some of it in our Thanksgiving food. We like pies, some things like that, like soups. Some of that came from over in England. I understand. Okay. Oh, we definitely light it up in the US at all the Greek places. So they light the cheese on fire is what you're saying. And then put it out with lemon. So they light cheese on fire and then they squeeze lemon on top of it to put it out. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll try it if I see it. All right. For today's lesson, you want to make sure you know how to count because we're going to be working with counters. So you want to also know about basic counters. So you want to know how to say the numbers 1 to 10 in pure Korean numbers. So not 1, 2, 3, but you also want to know 하나, 둘, 셋, like that. And you want to know basic counters. So that would be like 한 개, 두 개, 세 개, 한 명, 두 명, 세 명, like that. That's it. That's the prerequisites for today. So if you've got this down, no matter what your level is, you should be able to get something out of today's intermediate level. Oh, and then before we start, I also want to give an extra special thank you to our donor today, Glass Artist. Dropped $50 donation before everyone came in. So I won't do 50 dabs because I'm late. I should start the lesson right now, but just wanted to say an extra thank you to Glass Artist. Okay, so Georgian food is the best, but I really like Korean and Japanese foods too. Yeah, Korean, yeah. I don't think I've had I don't think I've had that kind of food before. The first thing we're going to be learning today is how to use j. Now, j is really easy. This is easy to use. All you do is you take a pure Korean number and you attach j. Now, what I mean by that is you actually just take the number. You don't change it like you normally would when you're using it with a noun. For example, 하나 would become 한, like 한 개 if you're counting something, 한 개, 두 개, like that. This is just 하나. 하나, well, actually it's not. In this case, it's not 하나. It's actually a different word I'll show you in a second. But instead of 두, like 두 개, you just use 둘. So you use the original number and then attach j. So you would get 둘째, 셋째, 넷째, 다섯째, like that. However, for 1, you do not use 하나 or 한. You use a different number. Well, you use a different word actually, and that is 첫. 첫 is an adjective, and it means first. And again, it's an adjective. This is not a noun. Don't use it like a noun. Don't say I am first and say 첫이에요 or something like that. Doesn't make sense. 첫 is an adjective, so that means it goes directly before a noun. And it's a pure Korean adjective, so you just use it as is. You don't conjugate it. It is first, the end. Just like an English word, we'd say the first person. 첫 사람, the end. Okay, so for this you would say 첫째, not 한째 or 하나째. So 첫째, so then we have 첫째, 둘째, 셋째, 넷째, 다섯째, and so on. What this means this is how you make ordinal numbers. If you're familiar with mathematics, ordinal numbers are used for listing things. For example, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. So these are used for listing. However, they're not used for listing in every situation, as you'll see later. But if you ever just want to list something in general, first, second, third, like that, you're just saying the numbers, then use this. I'm going to pause a second and then I'm going to tell you some specific places this is used, because there are some places it is used, but most of the time you're not going to use it. Maddie asks if it's related to tome. Tome is a noun. But if you're asking, do they have a similar origin? Sure, yes, but it's not the same word. No, bubblegum. We're going to talk about 첫 번째 in a bit. Not yet. Hold on there. Don't worry, we'll go in there. Yeah, 첫 번째 is the second thing we're going to be talking about. It's a different form. Kind of. Yeah, it's different. Okay, so when do you use these? Well, you would use these for paragraphs, for listing the paragraphs in a text. For example, first. Here's the first paragraph. First, second, like that. You would also use this when you're talking about steps in doing something. So you say, first, you do this. Second, you do that. Third, you do this. So notice how you're simply saying the numbers by themselves. You're saying these ordinal numbers just by themselves. First, you're not saying the first person. You're using it generally just to say first. Second, you're not saying the second time I did something or the third method. You're saying third, fourth, fifth. So when you're using these generally, just for listing first, second, third, etc., that's when you want to use this one. This is not, again, these are not used to say first noun, just first, or maybe the first, or second, or the second by itself. However, because these mean first, or the first, or second, or the second, or third, or the third, the first, the second, the third, these are also what you would use when you're talking about a kid. So a child, the second, our second child, as in our second, well, he doesn't listen. The third listens, but the second doesn't. So you're still just using the words by themselves. You're not saying necessarily second child, literally, you're just saying the second. So you could say something like this. 우리 둘째는. So our second, as in our second kid. The second. So our second child, and then go on to talk about your second child, like that. Otherwise, though, you're just going to use this for saying first, second, third, like that by itself. Because of that, this form is not so commonly used in speech because it just means those numbers and that's it. It just means first, second, third, like that. Unless you're using it to refer to a child, you're not going to be using 제 by itself like this very much. Instead, you're actually going to use a different word that looks kind of similar to this. 번째. I'm just going to write it down. To use 번째, actually, let me check my time. Okay. To use 번째, you take a pure Korean number, but this time you will use the shortened form for the numbers 1 to 4, as well as 20, like you would for other things. So instead of 하나, you would use 한. So 한, 두, 세, 네, and beyond that, it goes back to normal. 다섯, 여섯, like that. So you use the pure Korean number, the shortened version, then you use a space followed by 번째. However, just like before, you do not use 한 or 하나. So you do not say 한 번째, 하나 번째, like that. It's weird to even say it. But you use that same adjective that I just taught you. 첫 번째. So again, first. Beyond this though, go back to normal. So 첫 번째, 두 번째, 세 번째, 네 번째, and then you go back to the regular numbers. 다섯 번째, 여섯 번째, like that. And so on. Okay. Whew. This is the biggest form we're doing today, but there's another one we're going to do next after this. But this is the most common one. This is the one you're going to use right now in your regular speaking multiple times a day, is this form. I'm just going to check the chat for a second. I heard someone say 첫째 아들. In that case, you're not describing the 아들 as being first. You're saying 첫째, the first, and 아들, it's a son. You're saying the first son. You're not saying the very the first son. I guess I'll say it simply. You're not describing 아들. You're using 아들 just to say the first kid, 첫째, is a boy. That's how it works. So you don't have to say 첫째 아들. You can just say 첫째, and that's fine. But if you want to specify it's a boy, then you say 첫째 아들. But you're not saying 첫 번째 아들. That would mean the first boy, as in the first boy in a bunch of other boys. This is the first boy, like that. You're simply saying the first, and it's a boy. But good question. Mafaz asks, when it's for paragraphs, is it more like firstly, secondly? Yes, you can translate it that. So first, or firstly, second, secondly, it's the same thing. It's the same thing in English too. Firstly, secondly sounds a little more fancy in that case, but it's the same thing. You're just listing things in order. Okay, so this form, 번째, is actually used when you're counting the number of something. Now that can be a noun, or it could even be an adverb. So this is when you're, oh, I got a donation, and I have no idea how much that is, so I gotta look it up. X25. Mexican peso. Awesome. That's like $1.38. Sweet. I'll put you down. Give you a dab. Fighting. All right. Fighting. So this one you can use as a noun or an adjective or an adverb. Again, I'll say that again. You can use these words as nouns. So you could say the first is as a noun, or I like the first, anything like that. You can also use it as an adjective. The first piece of cheese. Sure. The second person, the third house on the right. Or you can also use this as adverbs. So, who is the person who presented fifth today? Like that. Noun, adjective, adverb. This form can work as all of those. Whereas the other form, 제 that we learned first, that one is only used by itself. Not as adverb, not as an adjective, not as a noun. Well, actually, I mean, technically it is a noun, but it's not used with other ones. Okay. Also, I'll let you know, if you want to use this as an adverb, you would attach 로 to the end of it. So if you were saying the person who did something first, you're using an adverb to describe the verb do. So I did it. 제가 했어요. I did it first. 제가 첫 번째로 했어요. 제가 첫 번째로 했어요. So I did it. Now we have an adverb first. Okay. That is all you need to know about these forms for now. There is another thing we're going to learn about 제 though that we're not done. Another usage of 제 that I've seen misused a lot, which is definitely more for intermediate level. But first, we're going to do a few example sentences with this. So I'm going to leave it on the board just for a minute, and then we're going to go into some example sentences. Actually, I want you to make the example sentences. I take it back. I want you to make the first example sentence. Can you do this? It's my first trip It's my first trip. Now, I'll give you the word for trip. Let me just erase this and I'll give you that word. The word for trip you're going to want to use is probably 여행. It's my first trip. Or feel free to change the sentence if you'd like. I want to see a sentence that has 번째 and 여행 in it. So an example is, it's my first trip. Maylee says, would it be correct to say the first is more chronological while the second is more... No, they can both be chronological. You can say the first thing that I did well, you wouldn't, if you're saying first thing, you would use this one. Neither of them is like that. The first one is only used when you're using it by itself, not to describe anything else. But most of the time you're not going to use the first one, as I mentioned. So if that's still a bit over your head, a simplistic explanation of this is don't use 때, just use 번째 until you've got the feeling of how to use 번째, and then you can add in 때 after that. I know that's a little bit too simplistic, but that's what I'll tell you. Nice. 첫 번째 여행이에요. Perfect, Paulina. Perfect. Let's see what else we've got. Mary Laura had the first attempt here. Let's see what they've got. 제 첫 번째 여행이에요. Perfect, Mary. Adri, 첫 번째 여행이에요. Perfect. 이거 제 첫 번째... Oh, you don't need the none because that would be this. Well, my first one, it is a trip. We're saying first trip. So first here, we're using it as an adjective. So 첫 번째, and then you would simply attach the noun after. 이것은 제 첫 번째 여행이요. Perfect, Maria, as well as Belladonna, Olivia. Kevin, you wouldn't need the 제가 because you're saying my. You're not saying I am a first trip. You're saying my. You could say 제 or 저의, but not 제가, because 제가 would mean you are something or you are doing something. 첫 번째 여행, perfect quobify. 아야카다 문법을 쓰는 제 첫 번째 문장이에요. Okay, nice, creative. It's my first sentence using. I see what you're going for using this grammar. 첫 번째 여행이에요, the first trip. Okay. Giant Blitz says, I'm entirely new to Korean. That's okay. Hold on. I've got something for you then. Where'd that go? Here we go. I have a beginner Korean course. Go there and you can start learning. It's completely free and it'll actually take you up to where you will be learning about this stuff. Although I think it also does teach 번째 in the course. I can't remember though, actually, but I think it does. Anyway, if it doesn't, either way, you're ready for this lesson once you finish that. 첫 번째, I almost said smelling mistake. Spelling mistake, just me, but I saw your sentence and you're correct. Just fix that spelling mistake. You're good. 제 첫 번째 한국에, I see. So if you want to add, it's my first trip to Korea, you would need to add 한국에 갈 or 한국에 가는, so like before in the first place. Or you can say, yeah, that'd be the simplest way to do it. 첫 번째 기념일. Okay, it's the first anniversary. Yes. Jarrett, I'm not able to read that romanization, but if you type in Hangul, then I can check it for you. I gotta find the Hangul typer, please. Please find the Hangul typer. 제 첫 번째 한국에 갈 여행을 할 거예요. 한국으로 첫 번째 가는 여행이에요. Okay? Or 첫 번째로 가는, since you're using it as an adverb. But I think you might even be better just putting it all at the beginning. 한국으로 가는 첫 번째 여행. Just me. You got the same typo again. Just me. Why? Why? But I know what you're trying to write. It's good. It's good. And you know what it's supposed to be anyway. 첫 여행이다. Okay, nice. Great job, everyone. Let me give you an answer. 저의 첫 번째 여행이에요. my 첫 번째, first. 여행, trip. It is my first trip. 저의 첫 번째 여행이에요. 저의 첫 번째 여행이에요. It's my first trip. And we're not going to be covering every single way you could express that because someone out there might be thinking about the word tome for here. It would be a separate lesson to go over tome because that has several uses as well by itself. And that's a specific word. Here we're just talking about the form 번째. So if you already know about that other word, great. Feel free to use it. But we're using this form for today. So that's why I'm using it in this sentence instead of the other one. I think you can make this next sentence as well. Okay, here's the next sentence I want you to make. I like the third one. I like the third. Or I like the third one. I like the third. So someone shows you a bunch of items and you're like, I like the third. Or I like the third one. You can be creative with your sentence if you want. Mary Laura rushed to get that out, and you got it right. Mary Laura, nice job. Ryujin shoulders, you only use 로 attached when you're using it as an adverb. However, if you're attaching 이다, that's not using it as an adverb, you're simply using it as a noun, in which case you would not attach 로. So just keep that as a note. 로 is only attached when it's used as an adverb before an action. Paulina, I would add a marker in there, but you're not wrong. If you said what you wrote out loud, no one would think it's wrong. I'm just being picky. 세 번째 좋아요. So I would add in that 가 there, if you want to do it. 제가 세 번째를 더 좋아해요. Nice, Olivia. Lexica, small typo there. 저는 세 번째, and then for three, this is the spelling for three. It almost looks like a swear, what you wrote. That's why I was kind of laughing when I saw it. It almost looked like that because it's an easy typo to make that becomes a swear. But I mean, you didn't write that. 세 번째 좋아요. Okay? 세 번째 거 좋아요. That's fine too, Daniel. 저는 세 번째 영화를 좋아해요. Oh, mafaz. It's 세. That was the asterisk that I put on the grammar form, that you use the shortened version of the numbers 2, 3, and 4 when you use this one, just like normal for any other counter. Since 번째 works as a counter, whereas 제 is it's not quite a counter. Yes, Lexica, 세. Perfect. Pronunciation-wise, 세 is the same as 세 nowadays. Originally, it was different. In fact, when I was learning Korean, it was taught differently as well. But nowadays, they're officially the same sound. 세 and 세. But there is a difference if you talk to someone who's older. 세 번째를 좋아해요. Okay, QO will be fine. You want to use the object marker 번째를, not 을, since it doesn't end in a consonant. But when it ends in a vowel, you want to use the 를. So I'm like emphasizing it, trying to make it clear so you know which one I'm talking about. 세 번째를, this one. 저는 세 번째가 좋아요. 지훈리, nice. Paulina, thank you for being picky. Yeah, uh, I won't be too picky, but I am just picky enough to be helpful. PLN, I still have to search that up. Every time. It's like $6. Thank you. Let me give you 6 stabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're welcome for being picky. I will always be a little bit picky. About Korean, anyway. And just me as well. You want to use this one, not 셋. 셋 would be for if you're just using 제 by itself. 셋째 is correct. But for 번째, it's 세 번째. 저는 세 번째 노래를 좋아해요. I like the third song. Perfect sentence. Okay, I'm reading up because I skipped some sentences. Bubblegum had a nice one. 저는 세 번째 강아지 좋아해요. I like the third puppy or the third dog. Awesome. Oh, Amanda Lee asks, is there a space? Yes, that was on the first, when I wrote this form up, I wrote a space there. Maybe a little poetic, but 세 번째가 마음에 들어요. No, it's not. It sounds very natural. I wouldn't say poetic at all. 마음에 들다. You also might hear 눈에 들다. It's the same thing. 마음에 들다 is you like something, like you're impressed by something. It's used commonly when you first are exposed to something and you like it. So yeah, I like it. Literally, like it goes into your heart. Like it's stuck with me. I like it. I mean, literally, kind of like that, but it's not the same meaning as saying something stuck with you. That's a different expression they have in Korean also. It's not poetic. It's just idiomatic. So yeah, 세 번째가 마음에 들어요. Sounds 100% like a native sentence. I'm here for the DAB currency exchange. Currently, the exchange rate is $1 to 1 DAB. The inflation has not affected that. It is still holding steady at 1 DAB per US dollar. And I can hold that price longer than Costco can hold the price of their hot dogs. Okay. Yeah, and anyone who doesn't know, feel free to write this down. 마음에 들다. Really useful expression for saying that you like something, especially when it's the first time you've been exposed to it. Like the first person that when you meet someone, you get a good impression of them. Then someone says, "Oh, did you like them?" You wouldn't want to say 좋아했어요 because that actually means like you are attracted to them, like you like them. But 마음에 들다 is simply like you liked it in a good way, but not like romantic like, not desireful like you want something like, you just liked it. Okay. And the last sentence, I'm going to give you a piece of it, but I want you to finish the rest. Yeah, let's do it polite. Okay. 발표하다 means to present. 분 is a person. It's just the honorific version of 사람. So this is being polite. So the person who presented. So the sentence I want you to make is, who is the person who presented fifth? And I already put the presented person part here. Who is the person who presented fifth? Presented fifth. I'll give you a hint. We're using it as an adverb here because we're going to be describing to present. So 발표하다 is to present. So 발표하신 분. So the person who presented fifth is who? Who's the person who presented fifth? So you have like a list of people and you're like grading them. You're like, oh, who's the person who presented fifth? Belladonna. Yeah, it's just the subject marker. Whether you're using it as an object or the subject in the verb like that. Mary Laura is like, you've got like speed, like super fast hands. As soon as I say it, you're like, you send it right in. Yes, Mary Laura, very good job again. Let's see, Paulina. 다섯 번째로, Paulina. So, if you don't use the 로, it still makes perfect sense. But I would recommend using the 로 so it's more clear. 다섯 번째 발표하신 분이 누구예요? Okay. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to go up and read everyone else's in order after Mary. So Adri, 다섯 번째. Again, you want to use 로 since it's being used as an adverb. Let's see who got that. Maria, 다섯 번째로 발표하신 분이 누구세요? Perfect, Maria. I like that you caught it. You even added the 세요 at the end. You have the best sentence so far. But you didn't have to use that. You could have just said 누구예요. But anyway. Okay, let's see. 다섯 번째로 발표하신 분이 누구세요? BNJ as well. Nice job. Let's see who else got it correct. Oh, Amanda Lee, small typo. You wrote 훈이, but it's not a big deal because I know you know what the word is. 누구였어요? Okay, 다섯 번째로 발표하신 분이 누구였어요? Perfect, Olivia. I like that you did past tense there. Who was the fifth person to present? Perfect sentence. I'm kind of competitive, don't mind me. All right. Well, I could see that. Paulina. Okay, so really quick, Paulina. Anytime you're using this as an adverb, you want to add 로 so it's more clearly. You might see it used without it as well. I recommend adding it. It's much cleaner in the sentence if you add 로. So not like 첫 번째 한 사람, but 첫 번째로 한 사람, like the person who did it first. So yeah, add 로 to the end whenever it's used as an adverb. Otherwise, you don't add it. That's the only explanation there is for it. Oh, as well for Lynn as well. So your sentence is perfect. 다섯 번째 발표하신 분이 누구예요? Perfect. You just want to add the 로 there to make it more clear that it's an adverb. But again, if you don't do that, your sentence makes 100% sense. It's just more correct to use it. Lexica, small typo. You wrote 다섯 번째로 발표하신 분이 누구세요? And the rest of your sentence is 100% perfect. Just fix that small typo, Lexica. 다섯 번째로 발표하신 분이 누구예요? Nice, Amanda Lee. Very nice. Okay. I'm going to write the answer, but yeah, you already got it. Okay. 다섯 번째로. 다섯 번째. So the fifth 로 makes it an adverb. 발표하다. So here to present. So 하신 분. So the person, 사람, honorific of 사람. So the person who presented, adverb. How did they present? Well, they presented fifth. So you want to add the 로 for using it as an adverb. 누구예요? Who is it? So who's the person, who's the 분, who presented fifth, as in fifth in order. 다섯 번째로 발표하신 분이 누구예요? So who presented fifth? If you want some more examples of that, check out the worksheet. But that's pretty much all there is to it. So I had an example where we used it as an adjective, one where we used it as a noun, and now one where we've used it as an adverb. And that's really it. You just use it. And I mean, if you mess up and you forget to use the 로, it's not a huge deal. They'll understand you. So don't worry about it too much. But yeah, if you're using it as an adverb, you want to add that so it's more clear. Okay, that's all that you have to learn about 번째. So we're not done though. There are a couple more things we need to cover today about this form. we're back to 제 again. So, 제 can also be used after a counter. So what is a counter? Well, this will be specifically a counter related to time. So, for example, the counter could be for counting days or months or years, like that. Weeks, hours, any sort of time counter. And when it's used like this, it is used to talk about how far into something that someone or something is. So how far you're into something is what it's used for talking about. This usage is kind of similar to using 동안. Now, 동안 means for. For example, you could say, I studied for 1 hour. 한 시간 would be 1 hour. The counter is 시간 for counting hours. 한 시간 동안 공부했어요. So I studied for a period of 1 hour is the normal way. But you can also use 제 for talking about how far into something you are. So you could also say 한 시간째 공부하고 있어요. So the difference here is that when you're using the 제 word, which is used as we learned for ordinal numbers, for listing, first, second, third, this is like you're saying, I am in the first hour of studying. You're not saying that you are studying for a period of an hour or 2 hours or a week or however long. Instead, you're saying, right now, here's where I am. I am currently in my first, second, third year, week, month, hour of whatever I'm doing. So that's the difference. So if you said 2시간째, you're saying the second hour. Again, you're still using 제 like you were counting things, but now you can also use it with time counters. So I'll show you an example of that. Again, time counter plus 제. And if this is going over your head, this is solidly an intermediate concept that we're into now. I've never seen beginners use this, so don't worry about it. Just kind of turn your brain off, take some notes, and relax if it's way above your head. I want you to make a sentence, if you'll let me. I want you to make the first sentence. I know I like giving sentences and just doing it for you, but I feel like you're going to get a lot more from this lesson if I have you do it, because this topic is quite difficult, I'd say. Before though, I should give you a disclaimer. This sort of form is not extremely common. This is not something that you need as a fundamental to speak Korean. And it's not something I hear used regularly all the time. 동안 is used all the time. 제 is used less often, but it's fine. It's not awkward. It's just less commonly used. So don't feel like this is a piece of grammar that you're missing to speak better Korean. It's not. It's just an additional way you can express something. So here's the sentence that I want you to make. I am studying in my second year. Or another way to express that would be, I'm in my second year of studying. But really the sentence we're going to make is, I'm studying in my second year, or I'm studying for my second year. Now, I'll let you know in advance, this sentence is very simple to make, so don't overthink this. It's way simpler than you think, but it's also hard if you've never used it before. So, I'm studying in my second year. I'm in my second year of studying. So, I am studying in my or for my second year. I want you to make this sentence. Yes, anytime there's a space, I'll let you know. Someone was asking if it's just one word. If there's a space, I'll let you know. There's no space here. Okay, Belladonna, I think, was the fastest this time. Mary Laura, you gotta speed up. 2년째 공부하고 있어요. Perfect, Belladonna. Oh, Paulina. So for the year counter, it just uses Sino-Korean numbers. So not two set like that, but just 1, 2, 3 like that. But other than that, your sentence is okay. But although actually you would want to say I am studying, as in I have been studying, so I would use progressive tense. 2학년째 학생입니다. Okay? 2학년. So that would be like your second year of studying at a school. Okay. That's not quite the sentence I said to make, but I mean, sure. I was just thinking my second year of studying, but not necessarily second year at school, but I guess you can interpret it that way. That's okay. (2년째) 공부하고 있습니다. Vesmite, nice. 2년째 공부하고 있어요. BNJ. Lynn, 김석진은 군대 125일째예요. Yes. Did you just make that yourself? That's a good sentence. So, if you made that sentence yourself, I feel like you've already got this form. I don't know if I have to explain anything else, but yeah. 2년째 공부하고 있어요. Nice, Paulina. 제가 2년째 공부하고 있어요. Nice, Carrie. You can also change it to however many years you've been studying. That's fine. In fact, that would be kind of a good practice is change this to how long you've been studying. So if you've been studying for years, you can attach the number. This will be Sino-Korean, so 1, 2, 3. 년 for year. 개월 for month. Don't just use 월. Use 개월 for counting months. 월 would be for the names of the month. 개월, or if it's week, 주일. 일주일, or if it's days, 일. If it's hours, then 시간. 시간 is used with a pure Korean number, so I'll just write P next to that. So 한 시간, 두 시간, like that. But these other ones are Sino-Korean. So tell me, 한국어를 몇 년째 공부하고 있어요? What year are you in of your Korean studies? Everyone let me know. Everyone tell me in the chat. Make this sentence right now. How long have you been studying Korean? The sentence you're making is not, I have been studying Korean for 3 years. It is not that. It is not, I am studying Korean for 10 years. It is not that. It is, I am in my number, week, month, year of studying Korean. That's the feeling you get. That's what with this form is. So if you just want to say, I've been studying Korean since 10 years ago, you would not use this form. 공부하기 시작한 지 10년이 넘었어요. 10년이 넘었어요. It's been over 10 years since I started studying Korean. That's a different form. Or you can say, 한국어를 10년 동안 공부했어요. I studied Korean for a period of 10 years. You are saying, 10년째 공부하고 있어요. This is my 10th year. So 10th, you're making it an ordinal number. That's the right word, right? Yeah, ordinal number. So that's this form. Hopefully that clarifies it in case you're still on the fence. So I want you to say how long you've been studying. And Lynn, again, that was an awesome sentence. Okay. 한국어, I want to see also if you can add in markers. Now, if you miss them, it's not a huge deal. But as a teacher, I want to know that you know that it's there, even if you don't use it yourself in conversation. 2년째, and then again, one word, so no space. 2년째 공부하고 있어요. Very nice, Emily. 올해는 2년째 계속 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. I keep studying Korean now in my second year. It makes sense. You don't need the 계속 since you're not saying, since right now we're talking about that second year. You're not saying it's my second year of keeping studying Korean. 5년째 공부하고 있어요. Okay, nice. 이건 제 3년과 7개월. Oh, you don't need the and. When you're saying time, you can simply say one, then the other, and then the other. So you can say 1년 3개월. Like that. You're done. You don't have to say 1년과 3개월. Just 1년 3개월. That means 1 year, 3 months. Like that. 1년 반째. Nice. I like you threw the 반 there. 1년 반째 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. Okay, nice, Paulina. 1.5 years. Awesome. It's really good. It's really good for a year and a half. Let's see what else we got. 7년째 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. Okay. 한국어 공부 2개월째입니다. Oh, that's totally got to be it's got to be a total lie. I mean, maybe since officially like, okay, I'm studying now officially, but no. That's awesome though. 2년째 한국, again, no space. You know, I'm a stickler for spaces. Put it together. It's one word. 3년째 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. 제가 1년째 한국어 공부하고 있어요. Nice. Really good, Della. Della. Okay, 저는 1년째 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. I just cooked saganaki. Okay. Nice. Send some to me. I'll open a P.O. box someday. And then you can send me your all of your smelly foods to fill up the mailbox while I'm gone in Korea. And then I'll check it like 2 months later. 한국어를 5년째쯤 공부하고 있어요. Nice, Carrie. Nice. I like that you added the 쯤 there. However, you wouldn't add the 쯤 there because 5th year. Well, yeah, it's about my 5th year. Sure, I'll let you do it. Though you don't need it because you're not saying about an amount, you're saying I am in this amount. Like it has been, my current position is my 5th year. It is my 3rd month. But yeah. Instead, you can say 5년 정도 공부했어요. Like I studied for about like that. But yeah, it's okay. I'd have to think about it a little bit more. It kind of feels like it's unnecessary to me, but it might be okay. Let's see. 저는 1년 9개월. Not 9월 개월. So 1년 9개월. So 9월 would be the 9th month. So what's that? July, August, September. That'd be September. So not September, but 9개월 would be 9 months. So 1년 9개월 would be 1 year, 9 months, like that. This is the 2nd year I've studied continually because I studied a few years ago, stopped, and then began again 2 years ago. Okay. 4개월 동안 Derek, you want to use the J form for this. 사실 한국어를 2년째 공부하는 중이에요. I'm currently studying for my 2nd year. Okay. 2년 4개월째. Okay. 4년째 한국어를 공부해요. Okay. I study Korean my 4th year. And then I would recommend using the progressive tense for this. Since you're saying I am currently in, not that I do studying in my 5th year, but I am studying in my 5th year because it makes sense. Like I study in my 5th year right now. I am doing studying in my 5th year now, but we're trying to say I have been studying. I am studying now in my 5th year, in which case you want to use the progressive tense to emphasize that we're talking about right now I do this. 5 years sounds very impressive. 2년째 한국말 공부하고 있어요. Nice. 9개월 15일. 아야카타. 일 is the day counter, not 날. 날 is just the word for day, but not a counter. 1년 9개월째 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. Nice, Lexica. Awesome. Again, you won't need to use this form too often. So I think it's enough if you can recognize what this form means, I would say. You don't need to feel compelled to use it regularly. But if you can say what year of studying Korean you're in, you're good. You can use this form. Okay, so let's go on to let me give you an answer for this, and then we'll go on to the next sentence. 공부하고 있어요. I am studying. I'm currently studying. I have been studying 2년째. My second year. So I'm currently studying in my second year. So I'm in my second year of studying. 2년째 공부하고 있어요. The next sentence. Yeah, I'll have you make this one too. Why not? I'm going to start the sentence for you. 너무 바빠서 잠을. So the verb we're going to use is to sleep. So I can't sleep. It's my third day of not being able to sleep because I am too busy. 너무 바빠서 잠을. Finish the sentence. It's my third day of being unable to sleep. It's my third day that I can't sleep. It is my third day that I can't sleep because I'm too busy. Because I'm too busy, it's my third day of being unable to sleep. So it's my third day of not being able to sleep because I'm too busy. How would you write this sentence? How would you express this? 감사합니다, 선생님. Yeah, no problem. 한국어를 공부한 지 14개월째. No. Well, that would be like it's my 14th month since I started studying Korean. You don't need to do that. You can just say, it would make sense, but you wouldn't do that. That they would just express it as 14개월 됐어요. 되다. It has been 14 months since I started Korean. Not, it is my 14th month having started studying Korean. It sounds overly complicated. Qualify, we'll talk about that in a sec. That's the next thing we're doing. Yeah. I took the sentence directly from your life, but I shortened it. I made it a little bit less extreme, so I picked 3 days. Let's see here. First person who attempted it is Paulina. 너무 바빠서 잠을 3일째 못 자요. Okay, again, you would want to use that I currently am not able to, but it makes sense. So I'll give you points for it. But I would recommend using progressive tense when you're talking about your current situation right now. So when you're using 제 to talk about something you're doing, you're going to hear the progressive tense used more. But yes, yeah, 자고 있어요. Perfect. Let's see who else. Mary Laura's right after that. 못 자는 Remember, we're using. You could say 세 번째 날, but that's not used so much. It's just 3일째. 잠을 못 자는 세 번째 날이에요. I can't mark you wrong because your sentence makes sense though. But that's not what I wanted. So it's wrong. It's not what I wanted. I wanted to use the I wanted you to use the 제 with a counter, not 세 번째. 잠을 3일째 못 자요. Okay, you'd want to use 자고 있어요. So it looks like Maz has that. Oh, no, Maz has 3날. So the day counter is 일. 날 is not the counter for day. That would be 일. So 일, 2, 3, 1일, 2일, 3일, like that. 100일, 100 days. Okay, let's see who else got it. Let's go down. 너무 바빠서 잠을 3일째 못 자고 있어요. Adri got it. James Termy, you changed the order. Why'd you change it? But you got it. Let's see. Yes, Iris E. 너무 바빠서 잠을 3일째 못 자고 있어요. You added the at the beginning to make it more personalized because that's how you would say it. 너무 바빠서 잠을 3일째 못 자고 있어요. Nice, Iris. 3일째 잠을 못하다. 잠을, it's not 하다. It's 잠을 자다. It's not a 하다 verb. Amanda Lee, small typo. You wrote 봇, but your sentence is fine. I think you meant 못, but yes, you're good. Forgot the counter. 잠을 못 자고 있어요. Yeah, you forgot the whole thing, Nico. Let's see here. 잠을 못 잔 지 3일째입니다. That's my third night since not being able to sleep. Like, it makes sense. It's just, to me, it feels a little overcomplicated. Maybe ask a native Korean what they feel. To me, it seems a little bit unnecessary. Because typically, most often when you're using the, like, 한지, like, since doing something form, you would use 되다 or, like, 지나다 or something to express that the time has passed, not to talk about the current time right now. Not that, like, it is my third night since I haven't been able to do that. But ask a native about that. That's something I wouldn't be able to tell you. To me, it makes sense, but it feels a little unnecessary. I wish I had, like, a native partner for, like, some situations where I'm like, pretty sure, but let me check. Then I could, like, pull over a native and be like, I'm grabbing him by the neck. Come over here. Get over here. Yeah. 너무 바빠서 3일째 잠을 자고 있어. 못 자고 있어요, Lynn. 못 자다. So that you can't sleep. Not that is my third night of sleeping. You might say I'm so free and relaxed that this is the third night that I am sleeping, but yeah, you should use 못 자다 for that. Cannot sleep. 3일째 잘 못 자고 있어요. Okay, that works. You could use, if you don't want to use the 못 자다, you can do like 잠을 설치다. That's like to not get a good night's sleep. You can use other words as well. A friendly Korean AI. Yeah, I can't trust it yet. It's not despite its name, it's not actually intelligence. It doesn't have a clue. I was really surprised by how well it did in the I did a ChatGPT video. I was really surprised actually because I didn't know what it would say. I didn't test the questions. So it did much better than I expected, but still terrible. I was wishful typing. I've gotten so much sleep. It's my third night of getting sleep. Yes, right. 잠을. Okay. So 3일째. Okay. 너무 바빠서, because I am too busy. I'm so busy. I'm too busy. 잠을 자다, to sleep. 잠을 3일째. So 3일 is 3 days. 째. So my third day of 못 자다, cannot sleep. 잠을 못 자고 있어요. So I'm not sleeping and it's my third day of that because I'm too busy. So because I'm too busy, it's my third day now of not being able to sleep. 너무 바빠서 잠을 3일째 못 자고 있어요. So it's my third day of not being able to sleep because I'm just too busy. Okay. The last sentence, I'm going to make it because I made this last sentence really long. And if I tried to have you do it, I'm sure some people would get it, but it would just be a waste of time for everyone else because the sentence is so long that the translation I give probably won't match what I would get back. So just to keep it simple, not to complicate things, I'm just going to give you this last sentence. Yeah, here we have, that's why I kind of felt weird about it. Here's the 지, so since doing something and it's coming together with 되다. That feels right, but not using it with 되다 just seems a little bit awkward. So again, I would have to check with a native what they feel. They might feel it's okay, but I just kind of feel like it's incomplete if it doesn't have 되다 or like time passes or something like that with this form, 지. Okay. 날부터 I wrote this weird. 세기 시작했어요. Well, let me just verify I spelled. I think I did. Yeah. Okay. All right. 이 집에서. So in this house, 살다 to live. 산지. So since I moved into this house, literally since I've lived in this house, 4개월째, the 4th month since living in this house. 되는 날부터. So from the day, 날부터, from the day that it became the 4th month since living in this house. So from the 4th month of living in this house, what happened? 물, water, 새다 is to leak. 물이 새기 시작했어요. Water started leaking from the day that it was the 4th month since living in this house, literally. From the 4th month of living in this house, water started leaking. So the water started leaking from the day of the 4th month that I moved into this house. 이 집에서 산지 4개월째 되는 날부터 물이 새기 시작했어요. So it started leaking from the day that it became the 4th month since moving into this house. It's a long sentence, which is why I didn't ask you to translate it, because how would I explain? I want you to make this sentence. From the day of the 4th month, from the day that it becomes the 4th month of having lived in this house, the water began to leak. Like, no, there's no chance of that. Yeah, that's why I didn't give it to you in English first. But in Korean, the sentence is fine. 이 집에서 산지 4개월 됐어요. It has been 4 months since I moved in this house. So it's been 4 months since I moved here. Since I've lived here, literally. But 4개월째 되는 날부터. So from the day that it became 4 months since moving in, 물이 새기 시작했어요. It started leaking. So that's kind of a breakdown of it. Okay, I have one more sentence though, but it's not for this form. I'm going to leave this on the board just for a minute. Yeah, and yeah, the sentence is too much. Don't worry about it. This form, 제, if you're a beginner, if you're not yet at an intermediate level, just be able to understand it. Even if you can't make the sentence yourself, just be able to understand that 제 with time is used to talk about that moment. Like it is the 4th month. It is the, just like we did the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd with all the other numbers. Oh, Lynn. Hey, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, well, I've got one more class coming up. Let me give you 10 dabs if that's okay, Lynn. Thank you for your donation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I might also do a fan meetup in Korea again. There, I'm announcing it. I'm planning on doing a fan meetup. I'm hoping to do a fan meetup. We'll see. I don't know when though. May, June, July, somewhere there. And while I'm in Korea, I will not be doing these classes. So next Sunday will actually be our final live classroom until sometime in August when I restart them again. Shin. Yeah. Sorry. I should have made this a little bit easier to read. There. It's not na now. It's not na. I know, it's like, how can I do... Okay, here, maybe I'll just write it like the way I hate writing for. There we go. That's more clear, right? Yeah, that can't be any Korean word. Okay. Or I'll write it with a different color. You're trying to go in June. Yeah, I'm not sure when I would have it though. I would probably have it sometime at the end of May or sometime in June before it gets too hot. But we'll see. The channel will still be active. Nothing else will change. Just these live streams will not be happening while I'm in Korea. Instead, I might do a fan meetup. I'll do some regular live streams every once in a while, maybe once a month. I'll go to a cool place and I'll show you around in Korea. But I can't bring my whiteboard to Korea. I can't bring my lights to Korea. So I won't be able to do these classes while I'm over there. Okay, so let me give you the last thing. Okay. So we learned that 첫 번째 means the first, and it can be used as a noun or an adjective or an adverb. Well, we also learned that 첫 is an adjective that means first. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is what I just said. 첫 is an adjective. 첫 번째 can be used as a noun, it can be used as an adjective, or it can be used as an adverb by adding 로. 첫 번째로. 첫 is just an adjective. So if you can use either one as an adjective, they both have the same meaning if you're talking about an adjective. So if you're using them as an adjective, they're the same. You can say 첫 or 첫 번째. However, what you cannot do is change every word that has 첫 into 첫 번째. There are some words that have 첫 already built into them that you can't change to 첫 번째 and have the same meaning. For example, 첫사랑, your 첫사랑, your first love. You would not say 첫 번째 사랑. That sounds like the number one first love, like the very first love. I don't know, it just sounds awkward in Korean. 첫사랑 is your first love. 첫날, the first day of something. The first day something happens. Well, the 첫날 is first day. You wouldn't say 첫 번째 날. That would have a different meaning. That doesn't mean the first day of something. It's like maybe the first, that's just more of a general usage. 첫 번째 날, like the first day of an event or a bunch of stuff happened. And the first day this happened. This more just means first day of anything. This one's better. Use this one. 첫날 or 첫인상. 첫인상. 인상 is an impression. So the first impression, you would not say the 첫 번째 인상. No. 첫인상. Your first impression is very important. So that's the word for that. Also, 첫눈. Like there are a bunch of these words, I could keep going, but if you see a word that has 첫 already at the beginning, don't change it to 첫 번째. However, you can use 첫 번째 and 첫 in the same way when you're just using it as an adjective to describe things. Let's check here. Oh, and I didn't even define it. So 첫눈 can have two meanings. It can mean 첫눈 like snow. It can also mean 첫눈 like your eyes. For snow, it can mean the first snow of the year is called 첫눈. Or if you're talking about your eyes, 첫눈, then that's first sight. As in, you fell in love at first sight. 첫눈. Okay. Yeah, it can mean either. So, again, certain words already use 첫, don't mess with those. But if you're talking about just using it as an adjective to say first something, 첫 and 첫 번째 can both be used. All right. And that's the lesson. So I'll answer questions now for about 10 minutes and then we'll take off. Feel free to ask any questions you have. Now I'm going to put the lesson paper away and check out the chat going on. 첫 만남. Yeah, 첫 만남. Your first meeting, the first time you meet someone. Are you going to do a series where you rate your followers' Korean skills? Yes, I had done that series before. I don't have plans to do another one right now, but it's not out of the question. The last time I did that was actually not that long ago. I did one in November where I did grading Korean journals. And I did another one before that in July or August where I also graded journals. So I've done a couple of them last year. Yes, Paulina, I have a whole live stream about 타는 것. Search 타 and 타는 in the Google document. You'll find it in there. I did a whole lesson about those. Amanda Lee, thank you. Let's put your name up here. This is the special place for our donors today. Donors makes it sound like you're giving me a kidney. The supporters for today's stream get a special spot here. Thank you, Amanda. Let me give you 5 dabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The BTS club says, is intermediate and elementary the same level? No, intermediate would be the middle level and elementary would be the beginning level. Somewhere in the basics. 일하고 해요. Is 일하고 해요 another way to you deleted it. I was going to answer it. Now I can't see it. What's the difference between 기도하다 and 요구하다? I did a live stream about those as well. 기도하다 is to you're promising to do something. So 하기로 했어요. Like I agreed to, or I promised to, or I decided to do something. You make a decision, you make a promise to do something. And then the 요구 is to intend to do something. It doesn't have to do with any decision. It's just your intentions, what you're going to do. Like we might just say going to in English. And what we mean is, I mean to. My will is to do, like that. And 요구 also has another usage to mean in order to, but for the literal meanings, it's intending to. So they aren't related. 첫눈에 너무 싫었어요. I really didn't like him at first sight. Okay. Typically, the expression they use is 첫눈에 반하다. 반하다. 반하다 or 반하다, if you're saying it quickly, is to fall for someone. 첫눈에 반하다. 첫눈에 반했어요. I fell for her or him at first sight. So you can say 그 사람에게 반했어요. 그 사람한테 so you can, some people make a joke. They'll say like 반하나, like 하나요, are you? So they'll be like not. Let me see. I'm gonna mess up the joke. 나한테 반하나? 나한테 반하나? No, like show a banana. I think like there's some emoji that has like 나한테 and then they're holding up a banana and it's supposed to be like 반하나, like are you falling for me? Anyway, it's stupid. I always confuse 동안 and 종일. 종일 would be used for 하루 종일. That's it. The whole day. It wouldn't really be a form though. Let's see. Who was the next person to ask? Kevin asked, what's the difference between 해야 돼요 and 해도 돼요? Oh, 해야 돼요 is have to, must, need to, I gotta. And 해도 돼요 is it's okay if you do something. It's fine. Go ahead. 해도 돼요. Paulina asks, what's your favorite word in Korean? I don't know. I don't really have a favorite word. But I do get asked that a lot. Whenever I have to give interviews, the newspaper will ask me, what's your favorite Korean word, Billy? And I'm like, I think it's a dumb question. I don't know. But if I have to pick one, I always just say my favorite word is 헐, which is like, oops. It's just a funny expression. It actually has the same meaning as 헉. 헉. Goodness. It's 헉 is that sound. It's the same meaning as that. So it's like, but it's like you're dumb kind of saying it. I don't know a better way to express it. You're like, so it's used sarcastically in Korean, 헐. So whenever people are surprised, because it's just like, it's from 헉. So 헉. So when you're surprised, you can say 헐. And it's just a sarcastic way of expressing surprise at something. I don't know a good English translation. Sometimes it's like, I don't know. Or like, duh. It could be duh. It could be oops. It can have a lot of different funny translations. Just like a silly voice is kind of what it translates to. But again, in Korean, it's not a swear. You're not mocking anyone or anything like that. But it's just like you're pretending that you don't know something and you're reacting surprised to it. So it's really useful. I like this word. 헐. And it's not even that rude. I would say it used to be more like it's 100% a slang word. But I've heard this word used more and more so that it's not formal, but it's not rude. It's just a bit casual. So you could kind of use it to a stranger if they're young as well, but then speak politely for the rest of it. But you know, they're telling you something, you could be like, oh, 헐, like you're talking to yourself, like, dang, oops. Sometimes instead of 해야 돼요, I hear 해야지. That's 해야 되지, 해야 하지. It's simply a shortened form of 해야 되지 or 해야 하지. Specifically, that's 해야 하지 shortened, but same meaning. 저의 첫날 한국어 공부하고 한글 몰랐어요. You might want to say, I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to say, but we could fix the sentence in a number of ways. For example, 첫날은 한글 몰랐어요. You would cut out the whole part of when I was studying Korean, or else we'd have to remake the sentence a different way. You could just say on the first day, I didn't know 한글, and that's fine. 첫날은 한글도 몰랐어요. I didn't even know 한글 on my first day. Like that. 첫날에는 한글도 몰랐어요. Your favorite is 새벽? Isn't that the girl from Squid Game? Isn't the actress's name like 강새벽? Was that the actress's name or was that the character's name? No, I don't remember. Oh yeah, sorry. It's the character's name was 강새벽. I couldn't remember the actress's name. 정호연. That's right. Yeah, 강새벽 was the girl. It's a name too. It's just not common. Korean Homer Simpson might say 헐. No, I don't think he does. He doesn't say 헐. I've never seen The Simpsons, a full episode in Korean. I don't know what Homer says. I've only seen some clips. Homer Simpson, I could find out. He probably just says dough. Well, let me see. I see some clips here. I'd have to watch the clips because it doesn't show what he just says right here. Yeah, I'd have to watch the clips later to find out. I don't really care that much. But I don't think he says 헐. Is 소희이라고 해요? You would just say 소희라고 해요, not 이라고. E would be if it's after a consonant, then you would add the E, since it comes from the verb 이다. But if it's after a vowel, so 소희 just ends in a vowel, you just say 소희라고 해요. 저는 소희라고 해요, like that. 저는 빌리라고 해요, like that. But if your name ends with a consonant, then you would use 이라고 해요. Is 받침? Of course. Let's see. I like all the onomatopoeia in Korean. There's a lot of that. Yeah. There's a lot of that. I thought about doing a lesson about that as well. It would just be a gigantic lesson. So I gave up and I never did it. But someday I'll do something related to that. Someday. Let's see. Have you seen Extraordinary Attorney Woo? No, but my grandmother loves it. Which is just so funny. She's like, oh, I'm watching the lawyer show. That's what she told me sometime. Like, I think it was the beginning of this year or the end of last year or whatever. Now she's also watching another lawyer show, but I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, no, I don't watch Korean dramas. I don't know much Korean media. So that's one thing that a lot of people already know that about me, but in case you didn't know, I don't know much about Korean media because I don't watch it. 받침 are just the last consonants of a syllable, so yes, that's true. Oh, message. I can't read it, Lynn. You got to write it again. Several Korean teachers? I don't believe that. I've never met anyone who would say it's not important. So it might have been a misunderstanding, or they said something else. But no, I could never imagine any Korean teacher, even like the Korean teachers, some of them who I don't know, but some of the ones I see on Instagram or Facebook who just, upload random stuff, they wouldn't even say that kind of thing. That's not, yeah. That's like saying you learn English without knowing the alphabet. Like, what? No? Fake Korean teacher. Yeah, if someone said that, they are not a Korean teacher. So I don't think that they did. I think it's a misunderstanding. Attorney Woo is a great show. She's probably watching to voice Attorney Shin. Yeah, I think it's that one. I think it's that one that she said. She didn't say the name of it, but there was another one that she mentioned she was watching. How's your stomach after spicy food? It's fine. It was fine. After that challenge I ate the world's spiciest tonkatsu, and it was ridiculously spicy. My stomach was fine though. 소희, it would just be 소희라고 해요. So you wouldn't need to add the 이라고 해요. But you would add it if it ends in a consonant. Oh, I just said, please do an onomatopoeia class. Okay, yeah. Like I said, it would have to be a gigantic lesson because, so here's what I could do. I could do onomatopoeia for everyone. And it'll be extremely basic. And anyone who knows onomatopoeia would be like, this is a waste of my time. But it would be good for beginners. And then we could do more intermediate classes, but it would really have to be a series. There are really too many. I mean, Korean Made Simple 3, I have a section in the back that introduces onomatopoeia. Just like says, hey, there are onomatopoeia. Here are like the 10 most common ones ever. Like, I think I did pick like the 10 most common ever or 20 or something like that. But there are so many to learn, and I still learn some new ones every once in a while. There are just a lot. Fortunately, though, you don't need most of them. Gangchong, yes, there is. That would be like something light, happy, bouncing. So like a rabbit bouncing is what you probably have heard it in for. There's like a san toki. Yeah, there's like a mountain rabbit song that uses that onomatopoeia. Okay, just another 5 minutes. 3 minutes. Just another 3 minutes and then we'll stop for today. Again, this coming Sunday will be the last live stream until the whole summer's over. So I'll start again in August. That's because I'll be in Korea. But I might do a fan meetup while I'm over there. If there's also any collabs you would like me to do while I'm in Korea, don't send me the message, send them the message, because honestly, I don't have a way to contact a lot of the people that I get requests for to do collabs with. So if there's someone you would like me to collab with, send them a message and say, hey, Billy's in Korea, do a collab with them, or message Billy. That would be so much more useful. Some people I will directly contact. I have their information. Most of them I do not. My writing and reading skills are good, but my speaking skills need improvement. Does this normally happen? Yes, that's normal. Good skills in native language equal good skills in target language? I mean, if you can't speak well in your native language, you're not going to come across as a genius in your target language. If you speak very smart and intelligent with tons of flowery language in your native language, you're probably going to seek out those similar words when you speak in your target language. So I would say there is a correlation there. But you don't have to be like Shakespeare to have good Korean. It's just eventually you're going to end up speaking kind of like you do in your native language in Korean. Not exactly the same. You're going to develop a different personality in Korean, but generally the things that you say, the way you express it, it's going to be similar in both languages. 짝짝, we're for 박수. Yeah, there are lots of stuff like that. Like, that's another one. There are so many. Please do lots of collaboration with food. Okay, I'll call food. I think I have her number. I'll call her up. Be like, hey, you and me, collab? Question mark, wink. Max says, I recently started learning and I want to say your videos are super helpful. Thank you. Okay, just another 1 minute and then I'm going to stop for today. Jack, jack, jack. Yes. That's for clap. Any tips to be more confident in speaking Korean? Well, you have to know the grammar to do that. So you'd want to start, since you asked the question about, I think it was you who asked the question about if you need to learn 받침, start learning the alphabet first and go through learning grammar. You can't be confident at speaking Korean if you don't know the grammar and vocab to speak it. So that's where I would start. Zari. So I'm just going to say Zari. Zari Harper, I recently bought your book. Awesome, thank you. Hoping it comes soon. Nice. You call Food's manager and they speak to your manager. Okay. The saganaki was delicious. Thanks for the updates. Appreciate those. Maya B says, what's the book of yours I would have to buy? You don't have to buy my books. I have books. Oh, let me put a link. I think I got them here. I have books, a series called Korean Made Simple. I also did a book with Talk to Me in Korean for common Korean mistakes if you're already kind of beyond the basics. I have a reading book, Korean Reading Made Simple, but you do not need to buy my books. I also have a free course. There we go. I have several, actually I have a couple free courses and I'll come out with another one later. A free course you can start as well if you don't want to spend any money. You just want to try some stuff out called Beginner Korean Course. And that goes over all the really basic stuff. The book goes over more, but the video courses, again, it's free and it's still not bad, I think. Before it all ends, I learned the alphabet and grammar because of your video. Thank you so much. Awesome. Glad I could teach the alphabet. I hear a lot of people telling me that. Oh, I learned the alphabet from you. Like, awesome. Sweet. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thanks for coming. And I will see you again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.